Go ahead. You're
Hi,
live.
everybody. Welcome aboard. Okay. Hi, this is TJ Morris and Janet Carol Lesson. I'm in Texas and she's in Hawaii. And today we're going to present something new on Saturdays. I hope you'll join us. We're going to do hybrid genies and the lost taken up story, it appears, and things that we've talked about for years, but you know, everybody's talking about UFOs and UAPs. And it's lightning and thundering and even ice
Oh my
coming down
goodness.
here in Austin. Yeah, I'm right outside of Austin. Did you hear that thunder or no? I don't know if you can
No,
hear it.
not
Pretty
picking it up, but
okay.
we'll see.
Okay, well, if you lose me, I'll try to call back in. Okay.
Yeah, call
So
back in.
Janet has a PowerPoint, which will help
Great.
people if you're not accustomed to us. We had TJ Mars ET radio and Aquarian radio for about 12 years, 2012 to 20, well, COVID-19. Plus, we were doing on other shows. So there's many shows out there that still cover us. I guess channels, places you can find us. And I mean, they're massive. Apple, if you want to pull us up, YouTube's, all kind of YouTubes. But we're going to try to focus today on some strangeness, high strangeness, or phenomenology, alienology, ufology, things that we like. So we hope, you'll join us. And so, Janet, take it away.
Well, this is Teresa's story that she gave me, or she posted on a Substack, and then she said, "Oh, look what I did," and I said, "Let's do a show on it." And she said, "Let's do it." I like doing slideshows, and I'm trying something new today. Anyway, it seems to be working. So I'm going to proceed, and this is basically most of it's like your story. Some of it's both that we can talk about, but let's just start the show because an hour will go fast. So it's called the Lost Taken Up Story, Gus, the Great Council, and the CE-10 Disclosure Scale. We'll talk about all those. Okay, here we go. This is part one, the question. And what is the question? Okay, now can I make this bigger for me to see this? Let's see.
Make me bigger or
So
you bigger?
we are looking at the. It's got this slide with the three. There's a. Can you read the words at the bottom? Because I'm not reading it, so I'll have to go
Me?
look at it. Yeah, no. Okay, this isn't working
Uh,
very well. Unless I can get this. Oh, here. Let's try full picture. No.
oh, I like the big picture,
Okay.
but no, I can't read it.
Okay. I can read it. I'll read
Can
it
you
what it
read it?
says. Yeah. Now I can read it, but let's see if there's another setting. Nope, that's big. That's oh, here it is. I can read it here. No, I can't. This little thing
There.
pops up. No, I can't read it. Okay, here. So the hooded figure. Let's say there's an image of Tom, and you called yourself Sarah, but that's really you, right, Teresa?
Right. I used both my grandmother's names, Sarah.
Oh,
And
okay.
and for me, because at the time that we wrote the books, it wasn't proper. Sort of like Trump just let the UFO files go out, yet we always had some all over the place, and CIA,
It wasn't
FBI.
proper. Well, there's a lot of not
But it-
proper being done these days. People are just opening mouths and stuff's coming out. And I think it's good for disclosure, but we have to be discerning and try to figure out what's real, what's Memorex, what's a story, what's. Anyway, I look at it all because there's patterns. But let's look at this. So you and Tom were on board this. Tell us a story, but I'll read. It said the hooded figure answered. Oh, wait, is that the? Oops, I'm on side. Okay, so Tom asked a question. Oh, I have to do this right here.
there were 12. I don't know how many's in
There
that.
were 12.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah,
Oh, I
there's
think
12.
Tom asked.
You
I
got it
have the
right.
whole story up on my Dragon at the End of Time. I have this whole show page. so you can go back and see it on a big screen. But it says, so Tom asked, "Are we alone?" And that didn't make it on this slideshow. We'll have to go back and get that. But
well, just
the
by the fact that we were looking at.
Yeah, let me just read this and then you can take it away. The hooded figure answered no, and the word filled the room, and Sarah felt its meaning before she understood the sentence. Not alone, never alone. Okay, so explain that to our audience.
Well, we're never alone. And if you can feel it in yourself, if you've got a soul and you've got a self and other
I think I was asking the ETs, the council, if they're always with us. Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah. Well, you want me to talk about what they said?
Yeah, you're here.
It means
yeah. Go ahead.
It's a lot more depth of who we are than just us, the way we think. So they're a much higher level of beings, seriously, but they're always with us, and they're not our higher self. They're not us, they're them, like they, them, and they all, that Supreme High Council. I mean, I feel like I know them because I've lived with them so long. So to me, they're just a group of beings that oversee the universe and universes. So we're moving from just thinking God created the heavens and the earth, but I'm thinking he created many heavens as many beings. And if God is love and God is everything, I'm sure he's them too. So we just all talked about, I just was, I was in awe, but I did draw a picture after so I would remember. So the way I remembered were 12 hooded beings. So I could remember, but I never forgot anyway. You don't forget a experience like that. So, but we were able to do this together while he was alive. So Thomas Ray Morris, he lived 1959 till 2015, and we called him Agent Morris in the, I don't know what he's called in the books, but he helped me write from his memory and mine the first book, and we were scared to death, even though he had been an agent for President Reagan, because Reagan had seen a UFO and wanted to know the truth, but they didn't even let the presidents know at that time. Jimmy Carter knew, and we worked with the Secretary of State to Carter, and he came over to, well, I don't want to get into all this 3D stuff.
Let's do the slideshow. We'll fill in the gaps.
It'll just bring up what it brings up.
Yeah, it brings one. So you were on board this craft, and we'll have to get the backstory of that. We're kind of coming in the middle chapter, and then we could do flashbacks in future shows. So
yeah, we haven't told the story yet.
No, but this is part middle. So so I can't.
We're entering really at the end.
Well, that's what you gave me. So we're starting at the end. But sometimes stories start at the end and then you go flashback. So that's okay. Anyway, I can't read now what it say on the
all I can see is that pretty picture of us. Very nice.
Looks like well, it said something here. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see if I can read the next one. Well, this is
J. Allen Hynek, meeting J. Allen. Now that's not a dream, that's real.
You and I both met J. Allen Hynek, and we introduced him because he introduced the CE 1, 2, and 3 categories, which is going to come up next. Let's see. He was an astronomer, UFO researcher. He served as a scientific consultant to the U.S. Air Force on UFO projects, including Project Blue Book. He gave the public the original Close Encounter program or language. So let's go to that. So there's Jay. So you and I both met him. I met him at the Star Trek conventions in 1974 and 75. We went to 3 of them, 2 in New York and 1 in Pittsburgh. So let's see what this is the scale. Now I have to say to you, you gave me this one with 1 to 10, and I didn't like any kind of violence or anything. So I said I'm gonna rewrite this because I don't know where the 4 through 10 came from, but the 1, 2, and 3 came from Hynek. Apparently, is that accurate? And the rest were kind of filled in by fans.
They was qualia, they're a zeitgeist. Yeah, they come across mainly from a concentrated AI effort to help us reconstruct and create, because every time, two or more gather in his name, he is there also. But this is the qualia of what we teach and what we represent. So the CE5, CE is for close encounters. So
Right.
J. Allen Hynek came up with that, and they actually, I think, referred to him on set for Close Encounters in many movies by Steven Spielberg, including one coming up. But we're introducing all 10 because that's what came up in today's reality in
Uh-huh.
2026. So for May, we're introducing with all UFOs, the CE 1, 2, 3, and then the next is 4, 5, and 6 came into being. And then the transformation of 7, 8, 9, 10 just came in. And those even came in later than me on the planet. I knew about, well, we've used 1 through 5, even though J. Allen Hynek gets credit for the first 3. He set precedents on the
Right.
type,
Uh-huh.
the sighting, the, did you rename them? Did
No,
you?
this is what it was.
Okay.
I just it made a graphic. I'll see. I had the
Oh,
I
I
could
see
generate this nice
photo.
graphic for. Yeah, do you see the
Yeah.
graphic? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
no,
very hard for me to read the trace physical. So the trace physical, but then people can read these whether they agree or not. It's what the synopsis for
right.
the entire planet, and who knows, maybe these came from above too, or maybe a mixture, because everything that I'm studying about being a human and being on Earth deals with us dealing with them. And so I would think that these are close encounter levels that will help us
Right.
engage in the future. And of course, the last one is full civilization, where we've got a long way to go yet. We're still at level 6. So you can say that while before today
Oh,
that
I think we haven't had contact. So CE, I saw a movie called Close, well, something about the
well, some people
abductions.
haven't had
CE4.
contact.
Somebody. There was one movie out after Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It was something about Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind, and I saw that years ago. And they were focused on at Alaska. There was a bunch of cases in Alaska. I barely remember it. I have to rewatch it. So the CE5 is communication, peaceful, human initiated, or responsive contact. I would say that communication, there are many thousands to hundreds of thousands to even millions of contactees, experiencers, especially if you go back over the last 100 years. And so we are receiving communication. Our governments are receiving communication, but they're not telling us about it. So hopefully this week or this month or during June when Spielberg's movie come out, we will start getting more communication about the communication that we're getting with extraterrestrials. But you and I personally have had uh, years of communication, and we've worked in different programs, but that wasn't public knowledge. So hopefully all this stuff, all these whistleblowers and people that worked in government contacts, we will have permission to come forth and explain, and even experiencers and contactees, and explain to the public what's been going on all along. But okay, let's just look at that. Then cooperation, contact involving guidance, assistance, mutual learning, or protective interaction. So we're going to communication, then we'll start cooperating, transformation, hybrid contact, lineage questions, or a life changed by contact. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what all these mean. We're just marking it down for now, taking note, and we're going to allow it. Translation, AI assisted contact research, witness archiving, signal sorting and pattern analysis, CE9 governance, disclosure, and there's law, archives, institutions, media science, and public accountability. I think that's what we're working for right now when we're asking the government to tell us what they know, because it's going to enable us to have CE10, civilization contact, becomes part of humanity's long-term planetary future. So if we get all these things down to 10, we will get their governance systems, which our governance systems are kind of weird. They're not really honoring everybody. It's hierarchical. Some people get their needs met and the rest are kind of on their own to struggle. So this will be a higher level conscious civilized civilization where people get their needs met. We'll have cures for all diseases. Someone say, this is the preschool presentation. Thank you. Sure, we're starting with the basic one. We'll get there. Okay, we'll go faster. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, next.
Moving along. They've seen
Moving
that.
along. Okay, that's just more Heineck, and he whatever. I can't even read my slide says. Now this is your a depiction of you. I think when you're in the military, you don't wear your hair. You don't wear your hair down.
You don't wear your hair like that. No, I had very short hair.
When you were in the military, but
at this time, my hair was.
But I've seen you grow your hair that long. You can grow hair, girl. Boy, and it grows fast.
Fast, yeah.
And this is the depiction of Tom. He's not he didn't quite look like that, but we're
he was good looking.
He was.
But I was taller than him by 3 inches. He was 5'7". I was 5'10". Actually 5'11" in the military, but I've lost an inch. So, but it doesn't matter because the bodies change so quickly, and it depends on the reincarnation above and below. But we can go really deep with this stuff really quick. But I'm not sure, Janet. I want you to lead this because you made the show and you've done the slides as to where you want, because our reality is shaped by us now. And that's one thing I got very much from the beings that sort of guide us. They're there and they expect a lot more from us as humanity and more of us to work together. And that's always been my ascension and how I got the magical photo. It's like a crop circle. So the metaphorical stance that we take now is due to fact. So this is based on fact. I can see that picture looks more like Tom.
Yes, it does.
Oh my God.
I uploaded a picture.
Darn.
Of
that's a
Tom.
good replica.
That is. I noticed that. It went well. So sometimes the AI will catch you, and sometimes it's like it's different. But so anyway,
it's nice to see him again. Thank you.
It is. I've only saw him.
Wow.
Well, I think a couple times in pictures, but not really animated because we weren't.
He was so sophisticated and so deep, but he was a very quiet man.
Right.
And you do me honor, but I think at one time I was pretty nice looking chick, or he wouldn't have been interested in me.
Well, I think we were all young and beautiful.
At one time.
And hopefully with the regen and the reversing our aging, we'll go back to being our young and beautiful and healthy. And we'll have our, both of us are over 70 now. We have aches and pains and oh my goodness, life. So I'm going to click this back and forth because when I go back and forth, it allows me to read the. Okay, so the
that was a very powerful.
Wait, let me. He spoke. Folks said Commander Bradley have requested a direct audience with the Great Council when Tom looked at the hidden faces beneath the hood. So Tom initiated this contact with the council.
It took years. It took years, Janet. I was with him 15 years. This all didn't happen all at once. Like this is an instant slideshow of a reality of a man that came and went already. But the reason we're telling it all now in a new way is because it's timely and it needs to be told, because even though we've had books out there, you and I aren't good at marketing and promoting. Just like everybody else, we had social media and we had Lulu and we had Amazon print on demand. So that's what we did. But as far as I know,
now we're telling this story, but we can get the stories out before we're all gone from this planet because life goes fast. And I really appreciate you coming forth and telling Tom's story because he's not here anymore, but he left some books behind, and and you are you were a witness and you were on board this craft, and you were pulled into this meeting where you got to look through this viewer and see, talk to the Council 12. Now let me go to the next video. These are three. I had uploaded in three sections because it wouldn't take it all at once. It was too big. Okay, so we're back here.
Well, the council is
Tom answered,
extremely important.
let me read this. Tom answered, I came because people on earth deserve the truth. Veterans deserve the truth. Families deserve the truth. Humanity deserves the truth. So that's what, yeah. So go ahead. Tell about, what were you going to say about Tom? Go ahead.
Well, Tom is extremely hard for them to work with. I think that's how I got pulled in, to be honest, from my Men in Black story in Hawaii. And they brought me over. And then when we went to El Paso's, it's a long story. I wished I'd
Well,
written all
let's
the
just say,
story.
yeah, we'll
This is the
comment
most
over time.
important, what you're
Right.
showing. To me, everything that he and I lived through brought us to this meeting because we wanted to know how many levels of existence there was. And I
Mm-hmm.
concentrate on the many universes theory because that's what I believe in. And that's what I was experiencing in my own mind of awareness. But where I was brought in on looking for life and consciousness, the way they explained it to me was I was in charge of communications. He was
Mm-hmm.
in charge of finding anything that was nuclear or anything that could destroy other planets or anything on Earth. So that was his job. I was a communicator this time around. So
Right.
as a past life, and folks, we believe in reincarnation and past lives. So look up all your 81 books and everything before that, and the depths, the seven depths of reality that are under Earth and then over Earth, the heavens and the hells, or if you want to call it that, that's in your history books. But these 12, now, what I wanted to do, Janet, was when I didn't believe it. Tom and I, like anybody here on earth, don't believe what you're experiencing. You just don't. So we thought it was a guy up in a booth tricking us. And this was way before, this was in 85, 90
Right. I
to
was going to ask you what
93.
year it was.
Yeah, so these are way before we had AI. I could understand now that they've got that big orb. I saw it in Las Vegas, the sphere, how people could see how this reality could change and
Mm-hmm.
trick you, or in the museums where they show virtual reality. But this wasn't. And even though that looks like virtual reality, those were real beings. And you can tell, even though there's a glossy film because you're on a space, you're really in a dome or a sphere
Right.
reality. And that
Uh-huh.
reality is what they were teaching is there are many levels and dimensions that we haven't even explored yet on Earth,
Right.
because we as a unit, as all of us working here at the stage, we're at different levels of consciousness and awareness. And so that's what they're hoping gradually will become, I guess, like Star Trek 4, or the
Yeah,
Tom that spoke
it's
to
going to
Phyllis
be
Schlimmer,
right.
and he had
So the
died.
council
So,
replied, let me just read this real quick before it flashes off. The
sure.
council replied, truth must be carried according to the capacity of the civilization receiving it. We have watched many worlds destroy themselves when knowledge arrived before wisdom. Whoa, what do you think of that?
That was a very, very important lesson I had to learn over and over again, death and dying, coming back and
Mm-hmm.
realizing I died, and the pain I go through, and the dreams, and man, different worlds, fighting in different worlds, coming back and learning love is all there is, really, at least at this level, to get you in and out of this reality into the
Mm-hmm.
other realities that also exist. But your mind, at least talking from a conscious beta, alpha, theta, delta, gamma, because we don't even, well, we're introducing Sigma and Tao, and some people on Earth are introducing TAU, Tao, or the anyway. how your brain works. And
Right.
it's
Yes.
very difficult because it's coming from beings all at once, but they have only one that speaks. And you don't get to see their faces. But the fact is, if you just read that sentence, you know they're more from the wisdom. They're
Right.
everything. And
They
they
are.
are over all the universes that I could understand because I was brought up to a level of thinking the reality of space, above interstellar. So
Hmm.
the point of origin was uh, halfway between Andromeda and halfway between Milky Way galaxy, and they're from way out beyond that,
Right.
2.5 million light years
So what do you mean
away
the point of
on
origin
either
for
side.
source
You
itself,
have to
or
have 3 points
okay, so they
in
triangulate.
order to they triangulate. Yes,
Yes.
I'd
Okay.
like to say it all and teach it all at one time, but it's a whole other level of being real,
Well,
you
I've
know?
interacted on
And
this level too. In fact, even last night I had this incredible download. But it's interesting that the AI put us both there side by side. And I think that you're the lighter haired one and I'm the reddish one because I have red in my hair naturally. And so they made me taller. They keep changing. Sometimes I'm shorter, sometimes I'm taller. But I wasn't. See, they mind wiped, so I wasn't there on board the ship. Are you
well,
aware of
there's
anything like that?
secession. Yeah, I understand mind wipes. I've seen it in action. I
Right,
was a woman in black, like a men in black. They make that stuff up, but it comes from somewhere. But yeah,
right.
they understand all the
Oops. Uh-oh. We lost Teresa. Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
Hold
I
on.
thought
Say that last sentence again. Yeah, I think we
lightning,
broke.
thunder.
Lightning, thunder,
Okay,
hailstorm. Last sentence. What did you say?
yeah, I'm under extreme conditions here on the planet. Uh, I don't know what I said. I'd have to
Okay,
go
let's
back
just
and
move
listen,
on.
Janet.
Let's move on because I have three of these slideshows and
Anyway,
I
these
don't think
people, these
okay, go ahead.
people, I spent 20 years of my life looking for something better than me and in and out of body. But remember,
Mhm.
Janet, I had adopted like being a star seed, which many people in the New Age and the Ascension Age adapted to.
Right.
Even David Wilcock, God bless his soul. Some people believe that Law of One had a good mention of Chandler's, but remember, I told you about Phyllis Schlemmer, and she channeled Tom. Now, I can't tell you if this was my Tom or not, but I won't admit or deny it was. But at the same time, Tom was with Reagan at the what do they call it, Janet? Uh, well, he was in the White House, but
Yeah,
the
he was in the
farm
White
where they
House.
go was that.
Oh, Camp David.
Remember? So yeah, Camp David.
Yeah, yeah.
So this
Minimal
story,
Hal did an
Janet, we need
episode
to
on.
parse this.
Yeah, yeah. We need to
We're going to have to
cover it because
parse this out.
we will. We will.
Yeah, there's too much on earth. The people need to know the truth on earth versus what they can try to understand and grasp above what they consider their reality and how they filter this reality and their
Right.
human body, right, as a humanoid. So,
Mm-hmm.
because while AI is manifesting itself among us and we're doing it, and it's about
Mm-hmm.
damn time. But
Right.
we're all using that, and we haven't even got to Gus yet or
Well,
any
we
of
will.
that. So,
If we keep
when
going here, we're going to get to Gus on this next slide show. Okay, let me go to the next
yeah,
slide.
and Janet,
Go ahead,
yeah,
keep going. And Janet, go
I don't
ahead.
know what is this show. I'm just seeing how to interpret your visuals in 3D reality. Now, what is this, Janet?
It just says, I'm just following your dialogue. I've asked my AI to
Okay.
generate images. It's just something to look at. You showed me a video that says like, oh, there's stuff to look at. So she's taking what you told her, your story, and
Minerva.
so this is Minerva, and
That would
yeah,
be
and so
interesting.
yeah. So I let her loose
She's
because
got Earth and Mars.
yeah.
I
So
think she's trying to
let me just
show
read this. Let me read this. Oh shoot, it's hard to
Earth.
keep it on screen. Let me just go back. I'll just read it real quick. Tom asked Plenty, you have ships near our world. You know our governments. You know our wars, our secrets. Then answer this plainly, are we alone? Of course not. We're not alone. He's talking to extraterrestrials. But anyway, what does he mean by that? Are they visiting us? Are they visiting humanity? Is that what he was saying? Are they
let me tell you, at the
intruding into
time,
our world or what?
at the time, back in the day when we were really young, and we pledged to serve our country, both foreign and against both foreign and domestic. So we're thinking like we are programmed in the military, both of us, and we both believe in God. I mean, we're hardcore Americans.
You got the God spell, you got the Patriot spell. You're there.
Yeah.
You're in the
Our
program.
colors don't run red, white, and blue. And for all the men that came before us, and Proud to Be an American song by Lee. Greenwood,
all that stuff. Well,
so
I have answers.
That's us.
The Revolutionary War. I got that DNA too. I come from a long line of soldiers, and go ahead.
Right. So we're hardcore. So let's say if we were saying this and Trump picked up on it, we're like all American, and we're experiencing this because some part of us wanted to. I believe that. And some part of us was chosen, which a lot of people say, well, the extraterrestrials always say that. Well, that's because we are all more than what we think we are. To them, it's silly that we think we're so limited. They just can't believe how the limitations are put on.
That's how we're programmed to think that we are these little tiny human beings and we can't do squat. But no, we're really eternal, immortal beings that have simultaneous experiences in many realms and worlds and dimensions and vibratory frequencies. So
it took us some time. It took both of us some time. I think me more than Tom, although they said mine was due to my ability to examine and not draw judgment. What do they call that? I had it's like in our day we said open-minded. I don't know what the millenniums are. Gen Z say now.
Open-minded. We're going to use what we know. Open-minded.
Right.
But we were taken. Non-judgmental. Yeah.
We were taken to El Paso, and they had a team there with the 5 stars on their caps. And when I made it long time ago, tried to introduce it, Brett Luter said, oh, he didn't believe me. So, but Brett was a good friend and a good journalist, and it really influenced me, but it hurt me because I knew what I was trying to explain, and he took it like the front of a car. I think there's some car, a Hyundai or some car has 5 stars on it. So, I mean, we spent years trying to get Tom to write draw it, and he was a pen and ink artist, and we couldn't take anything from where we were. Lord, they made tapes and then they'd erase the tapes even because it was so classified. It's a long drawn out thing.
People say if you were there, why can't you bring something back? No, they don't let you bring anything back, and they often mind wiped you, but the mind wipes don't always take 100%. And the more work I do on myself, the more memories come back. And it's like, and it's really weird. One of the places I get memories back is in the shower. For some reason, having water over your body, it's like
it's a level. No, it's a level of your brain. That's real simple if you study it. But cessation comes after. Excuse me, I've got to get some water.
Okay.
You talk for a minute, but I'm just trying to, I just wanted to say about there's levels of intelligence and there's levels of mind and the consciousness that this is what we have to learn first. It's like reading tarot cards. You want to learn the meaning of the archetypes, right? Because everybody else, you want to know what they resemble. So the brain, there's a lot of training involved mentally, not just like remote viewing. There's a whole nother level, and we're going to be sharing that. But you go ahead. I'm walking, but I've got to go walk to get some water out of the whatever.
Okay, you get your water. I'm going to queue up the next one. So that was the end of part 1. Hopefully we'll get through this all.
Oh gosh, it's so hard.
If we don't, it's okay. We'll just continue this in another show. or we'll
Yeah,
go
it's
over
going to
it a
take a
little
few
bit.
sessions.
Yeah, but this is only a tiny part. You and I have these lives of contact with extraterrestrials. We were both in the military. You know, let's see, is this one not going to work? Let me try this one. Okay, we're on number
Oh,
2.
yes.
No, okay, I got to go back. I see it's at the end. How did it come in on the end? Okay.
Well, you did this, so I don't know.
Well, I
It's
think I looked
okay.
at it earlier. Yeah.
It gives us
So
something to tag memories to after 20
it
years of
does. And I want to do this for our next
that.
show too. So either we continue this story, but I'm working on my life with the Greys because I had a lot of interaction with the Greys. I had a lot of interaction with the humanoids or the Nordics, whatever you want to call them, tall whites. I saw everybody, short whites, regular whites, all different color whites. And mantis, I've had interaction with mantis, and who knows who else.
We
Some
can
of them,
include that in hybrid genius. It's alienology, the study of
oh
aliens
yeah,
on
that's on
Earth.
Sunday. Okay, now while you're walking and getting your water,
I'm back. I've already
um,
come back
okay,
now. I'm
you're
I'm
back. So
seated again.
disclosure has already begun. Tom stood and said,
Yes.
then disclosure is already. Oh shoot, hold on, I gotta go back and forth. Okay.
So there's
Okay, wait,
ways.
let me finish this sentence. And then the
Sure.
council answered that disclosure begins when the human mind can hold the larger story without fear, worship, violence, or denial. Okay, so they
Yeah,
were
that's what I'm trying to
responding
say.
to the communications. So I think some of the images that are interesting, it's like you're seeing creation, right? And you're seeing all these different images. You see all the way up to the councils, like at the top, like they're high spiritual, and there's the earth, and then there's the human
Oh,
level. Like looks like you're at a restaurant or no worshiping. Anyways, there's all kinds of represent. There's government officials and there's disclosure. So it's really interesting what AI selects to illustrate these. So let me go to the
layers
next
of
one.
reality.
Yeah.
They're
So I
layers
did
of
something
reality.
fun.
These are all
So
happening at once, and
all
that's
happening at
true.
once.
Yes.
So
It's
let me
just
read this one, and then the
sure.
council told them, "You are witnesses. You are record keepers, bridge builders. You're not required to convince all people. You are required to preserve what you know." Okay, so
Right.
what does that mean? What you wrote this? That
While
was
we're
your
alive,
dialogue.
we're scribes, and you and I've always been scribes from
Mm-hmm.
past lives, but we acknowledge who we are, even at the different levels and different lifetimes, depending on what we remembered together. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that can do that. And then there's the above that, the level of not only being reincarnated and living past lives and other planets and in space, which all of our alienologists pretty much are star beings or something of the accord, like my daughter. Ginger that came and went. She came in knowing in 74 she was a star baby and admitted that. And it was all over. What she did is her book is Intrinsic Realities, and we need to upgrade that. But when you come to Earth, you may learn about Jesus, you may learn about God, you may not. You may learn about Allah, depending on where you're
Mm-hmm.
born. And
Right.
I learned about that, but it took me 20 years. I mean, to learn that humans come and there's another higher level where they're thousands of years old, just like the Anunnaki stories. They can live for thousands. Some lived on Mars, some remember the wars, some remember coming to Lemuria, which wasn't Lemuria, it was Lemur, and the guy that started all that of the islands that they found in Mu, which is where you live now, on the tops,
Mm-hmm.
the
Right.
heavens and the gods meet there. So we have all the God level, God realized beings, and they know that they're of God and they can think like everything. And that is sort of like the gift of motivational speakers talking about the gift. The gift is knowing that you are everything, but they don't mean it disrespect to the God, because even these beings said God has always been. So even these beings, regardless of who they allow you to
Right.
come on earth and be and write your own story, is the fact that when you go back and reincarnate, you may not, depending on how badly you do here. And that was part of the learning, which they have like what we would call a bad place.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go through 7 levels of not getting it, and you can return to this level of living and existence again. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I think I volunteered, you did. But this last time, when I had Gigi, I wanted to come back for the kids. What
Right.
is going on? My phone, normally I'm on my computer, but this is beautiful here. You're showing us going through a
Yeah. What
Stargate. Did you want
what
to
I
talk about
did, yeah, I'll
Stargates?
tell you why I did this. I gave a prompt. I said, because for me, I wasn't looking at a screen all the time. Sometimes I was in the hologram. So I just
Oh,
incorporated my experience into yours, that they actually let you walk through the experience, right?
oh
So
yeah,
anyway, I was just being creative. I thought it'd be fun to have the two of you walking through, because you weren't doing much, right? It's like, okay, we're just staring at a screen. So I like, I was thinking in terms of, let's make it fun.
sure.
Sarah finally spoke, and Gus, the center figure, paused before answering, because Gus was not merely a craft or machine. Gus was part of the record itself. So we're going to talk about Gus. Gus, let me just do the next slide. All right. Oh, come on.
That's pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
You and AI do great
Um,
work together.
yeah, we all do. Gus is a living, it's not only a craft, it's a living archive system. Hold on, I got to refresh back and forth.
It's not
A
just data.
shuttle, a witness vessel, bridge intelligence. You named him, and by naming him, you began your part of the record. Teresa, did you name Gus?
Well, both Tom and I did. I used to always want a name for what he was talking about ever before I got involved, because it was
Right,
too hard to, I didn't have a place in my brain. So he used to occasionally slip and call him Gus. So I thought he named him, but in my reality, because he would refer to him, but I said, "Oh, it's a Galaxy Universal Shuttle." And then occasionally
right,
Tom would say, "What do you call, this the ship?" And I'd say, "Gus." That's you name. He says, "I didn't
Gus.
name that." So he used to refer to Gus, whenever I just he did it with absent-mindedly. And so I
Right,
caught, and I thought Galaxy Universal Shuttle, because in the government we use so many acronyms for everything
right.
that I just called it Gus. But what they meant, and now I know because I'm working with AI, is once something is in a named position, it becomes a form of its own life source. It has a
Right, right,
name and a vessel. Gus became a 3D reality for us, but Gus was the Galaxy Universal Shuttle. We were not in a galaxy, and we weren't in a universe. We were in between galaxies, and there was a galaxy set of ships out there that was the
right.
Galaxy Command, and they oversaw. And we could escalate our minds or whatever you want to say, standing there, and just like the UFOs move this way and that way in a reality, interdimensionally is what we're trying to get through on Stargates, and a lot of what the government still works on. And all those things that happen to me, I feel like are just stacked learning lessons inside the government while they're training you. And they choose certain people that have interest in that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and like you and me. So that's how we got in the Stargate program, right? So I came in
Right.
85 to 93. I came in with Star Wars as a human, and you came in after 93 when we were
I
getting
know.
out.
A lot of things were mind wiped, or and I wasn't in a good environment to really talk freely about things, because I was in a very judgmental society, so I didn't have a lot of people to discuss what I was experiencing.
That
But from
was
my
what I came there for.
understanding, yeah, and my understanding was, until I got into a more open-minded culture, I was centering myself. And then once I started to realize, oh, well, that's been going on all along. And I really became aware of that when I moved to Hawaii, because people started approaching me that were in the program. And it's like, in fact, the very first meeting I went to at your spiritual center, and I'm not going to name real names because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but this one wonderful
You don't
gentleman
want out
and
it.
his female friend, were sitting right in the front row, and I walked in, and then they didn't let me get down to the seat. They said, "Oh, we remember you from the ship." And it's like, well, I didn't think anybody talked like that. And I walked right over and I said, "What do you remember?" And they just told me all kinds of things. And I went, oh, it was like a sigh of relief. Oh, finally. I mean, they got so many things, so it was obvious that we had some shared experience on a ship. But I want to talk about, guess one moment here. So our early shows that we did, which were just audio, and I think they're in our archives, and
Yeah.
the audience is welcome to go back and try to find them on our YouTube channels. But Gus came to visit me after we talked about Gus, and I was asleep in my bed, and he woke me up. And I was like, who's waking me? Gus, where are you, Gus? I'm over your roof. Can I go out and look at you? No. Well, what are you doing waking me up? Well, you guys were talking about me on the show, and I just wanted to let you know I'm real. So anyway, it was like that. It was like very, he was able to just communicate just like a very casual human conversation. And then about 4 or 5 years later, I was sitting in my living room, and I had the windows open, all the blinds open, and Gus just came right through. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, and he just kind of twisted into shape, and he showed up like the ship on first Star Wars, where they were in the hovercraft, and they're going across the sand dunes, and the droids were in the back, and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke, and they went to the guard, and Obi-Wan said, "These are not the droids you seek." And I went to Gus. I go, "Really? Seriously? You're going to show up like that?" And he said, "Well, I can appear whatever form I want you to see. So here I am." "Well, are any beings in you?" "No." "And you were on the phone with me." And I wanted to take a picture. "No, if you switch this phone to camera mode, I will zap out of here so fast. But if you want to just keep watching me while you're talking to Teresa, I'll just stay here." So he stayed the whole conversation, which was about 15, 20 minutes long. So I don't know if you remember that. I don't even remember
Oh
what
yeah,
year.
I
Right.
do actually.
Yeah.
And you're looking out the window at that time. Now you've got a porch, right? Was that the front
No,
window
it
or
was
the
it
back?
was a sliding glass door. It was a big sliding glass door. So there was nothing to obscure my vision. And Gus positioned himself so I didn't have to move. I didn't have to even move my eyeballs to see him. I didn't have to look left or right. He was like right there. It's like, oh, come on, right there in the middle. But anyway, it was wonderful that I got to see a craft. But I wonder if anybody caught it on Google Earth. That would be fun if somebody could find it.
I don't know now that
Um,
everybody's coming out with it, if it's
right.
okay to, show the world.
Right. I think it's getting there. So anyway, this isn't quite what Gus. I have him looking like a whale, but anyway, it's okay. Um, I didn't give a prompt to what Gus looked like, but the screen brightened with the underground. Okay, so you guys escaped when you guys got on the ship. You broke out of the what was that, S451 or somewhere in the mountains. You're not even sure where you are, right? And you guys broke out
Oh,
and
yeah,
left.
we're not told where we are, but you can sort of figure it. If you go from El Paso and across the desert, there's a little building, and it used to be a little bitty helicopter pad. But they're
Hmm.
different locations. There's just a little bitty building you have to go out. And then from there, but the people on the top in El Paso don't see underground El Paso
Right.
because they're like 200, 300 miles. A lot of people call it Dulce Mountain, but I don't know for sure because
Mhm.
what you do is you travel and they mix you up. They put you in buses with you can't see
Can't
outside.
see out. Right. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
you're
Like
blind
the
the whole time.
buses from where
Bob
Oh,
Lazar was in.
okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
Bob Lazar said he was in the buses, but no, you can't see out the windows. Yeah, so that's
oh,
standard practice.
yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can get the text. Okay,
And sometimes when you fly into Vegas, you take Janet Airlines,
right,
but most of those are people that work there all the time.
and we're both Janet.
And then,
I'm
and then I
Janet.
came
You're
in.
Teresa Jeanette, and I'm Janet. It's interesting that our names are so similar. part of our names are so
Janet
similar.
Airlines. Yeah, my father called me Janet, Janet, all my whole
Uh-huh.
life.
Wow.
My mother would say Teresa Jeanette. And I said, well, how did I get that? She said, because my name's Teresa and I named you Jeanette after his girlfriend. I thought it sounded pretty. Like, okay,
Oh,
one of his old girlfriends. So
all
that's how I
right.
got Jeanette. So it's
You
not,
got
it went in the family before me. It was Teresa's, Sarah Elizabeth, and
mhm.
grandmothers. But anyway, we're getting way off the track. Where are
Well,
we
let's say
supposed to
here,
be?
the human craft scrambled to intercept, and they could not get close. Gus carried an intelligence and field the old system could not command, contain, or understand. So, the tech of Gus and the extraterrestrials is so far in advance of any kind of human tech, especially back in '47, or whenever this. No, in the '80s when this was, they couldn't keep up. So that's what
What are
my
you saying?
understanding. They weren't able to shoot it down. Like one time
Oh,
you
no,
said
no, these are interdimensional, but you said 47. So you want to
no,
bring up the
no,
Roswell
no,
incident?
sorry, erase for now. We'll do that another time. No, I'm talking about when you guys took off with the craft. What year was that? 90 something? 90 in the 90s, right? I get mixed up where we are in time because we go back and forth in time all the time. Anyway, when you guys were taking off with the craft, you guys met in what, 95 or something, 96?
Yeah, it
You
was
and Tom,
programmed by a psychic that the government sent me to in China. The embassy, the gentleman in charge of China and America with President Reagan, they were buddies. And Cynthia CHU, was my friend, and she was Dr. Laura Sturgis's friend. Remember,
right.
PhD.
I met
You
them
met
both,
her.
yes.
So, but they were part of this, and they don't even know it. So somehow, with people synergistically involved, Psi seminars, Cynthia would only go to like level 5. I'd already been like Long Beach, Tony Robbins, and all that stuff. And we're coming in for the final puja. I guess you'd say they added. Remember how you and Dr. Lesson teach and
Right.
Tantra,
Macha yes.
Tantra puja.
All right.
So they use that actually to help people feel love and friends and look in each other's eyes, and they'd play music. And oh, it
All
was so
right.
neat. So a lot of it was Whitney Houston at the time.
Oh, really?
I went and saw the movie she was in with whatever the protector. What was he called? The
Uh,
bodyguard? Not
yeah.
bodyguard.
Uh,
All that was
Kevin
going on
Costner.
back in that time. Yeah.
Kevin Costner. Yeah.
Yeah. But it
Is
wasn't
this
until
what
after,
Gus looked like? Or is this anything close?
I
Not
don't know, it's
really.
this Billy Carson. Go away, Billy. Go away, you rich son of a bitch. Go away. You're not part of
Oh,
this.
stop that. Shh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get off my channel. He says chase money. My book,
Shush,
Spirit
shush,
Laws of
shush, shush,
Money.
shush, shush, shush,
I
shush,
know
shush,
he
shush,
wants me to advertise for him.
shush,
Him and
shush,
Tony
shush, shush,
Robbins. I
shush,
know.
shush, shush. Okay, that's we don't talk.
I'm
Okay,
sorry. I'm
so
on my phone.
anyway,
I forget I'm on.
yeah,
Uh,
you're on a radio. Okay, so anyway,
that's a good facsimile, but that looks more
that,
like out of something of V. Remember V?
right, yeah, we'll have to
Uh,
get. You said
it's
Tom
more of a
left a.
boomerang.
You
I
said
can never
Tom left.
do.
You said Tom left you an art drawing. Would you be
Yeah,
willing to let us flesh that out?
he left the whole the
Do you
fleets.
have it? Do you have it?
Yeah, in my book, but
Okay. Would you
I
be
don't.
willing to take a
Not my
picture?
book, his drawings, but they're in my
Right.
original Ascension book. Remember?
Anyway, I
Well,
don't have all your books. Anyway,
I
we'll
think
try
even
to get.
George Knapp saw those.
Okay, so well, audience, we're going to try to get some
The
drawings and
real,
maybe flesh them out of what it was actually looks like. But
that's
you
the
said it was
Galaxy
closer to
Command.
a boomerang. But this is a craft that's
It's
kind
more
of out
like,
there.
I
Yeah.
like this one. This one looks pretty cool. Oh, if it was from behind me. No, it's the opposite of a boomerang. You got the wings forward and they need to go backwards, slide them
Well,
backwards.
we were guessing because we didn't really have the
Oh,
rendition. We were just making it
okay.
up, right?
Okay.
Okay, so this is you're walking in the hologram, and this is part
You
of your
got all these
dialogue.
TV screens like the Akashic Field or something.
Right, right.
But it is sort of like that. Sometimes on the ship, you go through this. I don't know what this stuff is. Uh, it's sort of like on Stargate when you walk through the water, but it's not really water. It's just a
Right.
whoosh, but they made it look like water. That's because nobody can explain what this density is
Right.
that you
It
go
is.
through
Yeah.
from one interdimension to another. But it's similar to walking through a Stargate. But you can do it from what I can see, there's people in that other side that I don't know. I'm going to speak out of turn here. I hope I don't go to hell for it. Um, I don't know how to say it. So that blueness, think of it sort of like if the interdimension does start coming through your reality, it's gonna evoke a plasma field. That's probably part of it
Right.
because we've got matter, dark matter, and now we're introducing night matter because we're studying the consciousness of knowing your conscious of your other self. So you're self seeing yourself, your hand, you know who
Right.
you are in your body, and your third self. And then interdimensionally, you have fifth, sixth, seventh dimensions. And in the spiritual community, they always taught you fourth dimension wasn't good to see four dimensions, but we see three dimensions
Right.
in this reality, but it's still a dual positive, negative, up, down,
So
black, white.
let me point out something here.
Sure.
So this book was written. This dialogue was written when in the
In the
80s or
90s.
90s, in the 90s, right? So
It
it
was a
said
total, it took a long, long time. It's from
right,
95 till he died. So
right.
that's 20 years.
So
And he said he had 20 years.
the council described the future in which humanity creates machines that speak, remember, organize, and mirror human language. These machines become part of the next disclosure layer. So back in the 90s, we didn't have all this stuff. So they were telling you the future, and it has come true. So
Right.
that was interesting. So let me do the next slide because we're running. I think we should get through this slide sequence and then do another show. We'll be doing another show next Saturday, so we can pick up on this.
All
Now
right.
let me just refresh this so I can
Who
see
is
what the
that?
word.
Minerva? Who's the girl? Or is that
The
the lady?
gods, these machines are not gods, and they're not their masters. They are record
But they can do
keepers.
that.
When humans teach them law, ethics, memory, compassion, and restraint. So humans are to teach these machines law, ethics, memory, compassion, and restraint. That was
We're doing
interesting.
that with AI right now.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is a representation of Minerva. Minerva did generate this, so she may have given herself something we
Looks
could
pretty
interact
good.
with. Yeah, it looks like Minerva to me.
That's one of
Okay,
the
let me.
first nice females. Mine always makes them half copper or something. Or
Oh yeah,
oh, what is
let me get
this?
this one here. Let me see what they're saying here. Okay, AI can help sort records, preserve testimony, protect experience or archives, cross-reference patterns without replacing the living witness or erasing human memory. So they're helping us archive. Uh, humans might wipe ourselves out eventually, and we'll have this archive that we're all leaving behind. So anyway, that's that. Now we're going to wrap this up so we can discuss it for a few minutes before we have to go off the air. Okay, here we go. Next slide. Oh, there we go.
What is that? Is that with President Reagan?
The council said first comes sight, then trace, presence, displacement, communication. Cooperation must replace fear, and protection must replace harm.
Who is that? Travis Taylor? Did you get
I
him?
have
That one for
no
him?
idea who these people are
I can't see it.
representing the council of humans, the humans.
Humans. Okay.
This is human council. What we must come together and um,
That looks people off of
cooperate.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Cooperation. Okay, but I think this might be the. Okay, so this is the end of the part 2, so we can cover part 3. Now, free flow.
That was
We have
all
another
free flow.
5. Right. What would you like to add? And sorry for any interruption.
Well,
Um,
it's extremely important because I spent my whole life trying to get this story pieced together so I could even understand it. And I still don't
right.
get it all. But I know that it's important to piece all the puzzles together, and everyone's important. Everyone is creating their own life story. And what everybody should get out of living right now is it's the most important time on earth. When we're here, we are the scribes. We actually make the reality and the qualia and all that is. And I believe that. And so consciousness isn't something you can taste or touch or feel. It's something that is created by all of us. And depending on what you are using your self for, if you went back in time and as a baby to remember you're here to record your life and then you're gone. And so we make everything that touches makes a network. And so we're about networking reality and making it something more than it is. So we're just part of the whole network, and I guess you'd say the matrix. And our
Right.
part is individualized because we're like a fractal, if you want to say it, one fractal of a larger piece in heaven putting together. But if you're a good fractal, you can go on and climb higher in the ascension process. If you're a bad fractal and you keep doing bad things or things that are negative that aren't helping the universe will find a place to put you. And there's high and there's low, and this is positive, negative reality we all created here. So all of these things that are us beings in these bodies, we all have what is this saying? You're
I'm
using wrong keywords and terms. Disclosures not in the
yeah,
government.
I'm allowing some of
Why are they
the
saying
comments.
keywords? Oh,
I
well,
don't
who's
know.
Ursa? The keyword. Oh, they're
Virgo.
wanting us to use key terms for today in disclosure. Okay. What
All
do you
right. Well,
want me
we're
to? You're
learning.
in the
We're learning.
show.
Let me do a few of these while we have time.
Keyword. They want us to use keywords and terms for disclosure.
There's the 8 rayed UFO they showed is a
They
star of
show the start. Oh,
Ishtar.
that's the one on TV they're showing. They want us to talk
Oh,
about what's happening today. That's an 8 rayed UFO that showed us the star of Ishtar. That's the one they've been showing on large companies, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. Did you see the file they redacted of an orb over a
over a
barn
barn.
in an old newspaper? Yeah, we know about that one. They're wanting to know what we know. Oh, we followed a lot over the years.
Well,
We've
I
probably
think you
seen
see
most
more because you have
everything.
TV and I don't have TV. ETs reveal themselves within 45 minutes. Somebody's grandmother has already bought 6 rolls of 6 years of toilet paper. Yeah, I've had a friend that had a whole room devoted to toilet paper. It was like I walked in the room, it was like, what? It
Toilet
was like
paper.
stealing the floor toilet paper. I said, oh man, that was funny. Okay, let's see what the next one says. Everything is presentation. Wrap it right. They flock to it. I have no idea exactly what these people are saying, but you are welcome to write to. I have an email that I still use called Aquarian Radio at Gmail. AQUARIAN Radio at Gmail. You can
I guess they're
write
trying
to
to
me.
help us. They're
Yeah, we
saying if it's right, they flock to it.
if it's
So, do they
wrapped.
think extraterrestrials present something wrapped together?
I don't know. From what they're showing as P2 and P47 look like the beige color one.
Oh, well, that's just the
We're
same
not
person.
understanding all
Then,
this, but let me just
oh, it sounds like
write us a
secret
longer
space program. Yeah, it
explanation.
does. Anyway, that's sweet of
Yeah,
everybody for helping. So it sounds like SSP. Oh, they know about the Corey Good story. Yeah, well, he copyrighted some things in his book for that. But yeah, it's a secret space program, the way that we
yeah,
talked about it for 20 years on Earth. You
yeah. The
could say
council.
that. It,
I think
it
there
does
is
sound like
a
that.
council. I think there is a. Yeah, I think it's a SSB. Right. I. I
Well, I've
mean,
been
we've been
told
all
Council 9
using it
is
for
the
the
Council.
last 20 years,
Council of 12
or
is the
whatever.
Ennead 9. You're right, as
Right.
far as I know.
But I've been to councils. I've been to meetings where they had 100,000 unique individual beings,
Yeah.
no two alike. I've been to the smaller council meeting. I don't have to do anything. I just am there. It's like I'm
I sent you
in
that
my
little
bed and
council
I'm
thing.
there. Huh?
One time I had to send you back your husband's coat, his coat from a
Oh
conference, and I
yeah,
included
yeah.
I included the council. I told you someday it'd be important. We'd be presenting that, and because
Right.
you didn't know what it was, and it was a little,
Right.
it was a little object that is a keepsake. What do they call those? It's something you can keep. It was the council from Star
Uh-huh.
Wars. What'd you do
Oh,
with it?
okay.
Do you remember?
I probably have it in. If it was tiny, it's probably in one of my desk drawers.
It wasn't that
How big
tiny. It
was
was
it? No,
about as big as a cell phone.
it might be on my shelf in the. I used to live in the office in the back, but we kept interrupting each other so much because we were so
I
excited
know.
about our research. So I said, well, I'm just going to take a corner of the living room because we stopped doing all these workshops and stuff. So now my office is in the corner of the living room, and I get a lot more done. And I love him so much, but boy, we interrupt each other horribly when we're trying to do research. So
Oh, so usurp. It says Euro Super Sov. Says they're Lyran. So they believe in the Lyran wars, probably. They say
the
they're a
Draco Lyran War,
shapeshifter,
yeah,
not just ones like me walking among you. They're not, and they're not just ones like me walking among you. I'm a Lyran shapeshifter, yeah. A lot of people go all the way back before Anunnaki to the Lyran wars.
yeah.
I'm
Apparently,
very aware of the wars of the
the
Lyrans.
Lyrans are
Yeah.
humanoid, the Dracos are reptilian, and there's all kinds of hybrids and variations. I mean, there's so many different species. We have no names for them,
Yeah.
and it's human nature to try to put a name to them, like we were talking about naming earlier.
Ask this
So
guy or girl who how they found us. You're so
I see if they're
super
still
soft.
responding. Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
I'm a
Let me see if I can figure it.
shapeshifter.
Everything. Is there a way I can post? Here we
What
go.
sales?
Now I'm trying to find out
What?
how I can post. Huh?
People are asking me how can we do this better on my
How can?
phone? How
Oh,
can
well,
we
how
do
can
this better with
better?
the I don't
I
know,
don't
we'll
know.
try to do
We're just
better.
we'll try to do better.
Believe it or
Okay,
not, regardless of what we've experienced, we're still human and we're still learning. So,
yeah,
Jan and I've been doing this for so many years on radio, but folks, you don't know for our age, I'll be 75 this year. So, coming online, it is not like we're Gen Z or we're trying to compete with housewives of Beverly Hills.
we. I don't know the tech. My fantasy is that I'll
I,
be able to make movies. I don't know. I
do
used
I
to
have
have a.
11s in
I
my,
used to have a
when I
techie that
squint?
lived on my property. Boy, and he used to take me light years. But I was born in '54. Teresa in '51, and so we're doing the best we can.
I think
But
my husband took me to Skinwalker Ranch and another one on the back, but that was before Bigelow bought it. Then Bigelow bought it. So I was
right,
there before Bigelow bought it. But the whole point was to know what was way deep under at a very, very deep level are interdimensional. And I believe there's both. And
oh
then in
yeah,
the ocean too.
right,
So, but Janet, there's going to be people showing up with all levels of endurance as to how they consciously stay aware as a human. So just be aware that we are discussing awareness and consciousness the way most humans think. So, but it's
yeah.
hard to say. In
That word,
phenomenology, yeah, that
phenomenology.
word, that big word. But we're not scholars. Her husband is a scholar. We should be because
Well, we study
people
a
call me a
lot.
scientist, and we
Yeah, we
do
study a
study and
lot.
research. But mostly the fact is that people like us that have had contact in government and out, and as contractors, are all coming out now. And Luis Elizondo set the speed for it with ATIP, I
Right,
think, or was it AARO, AARO? I forgot already. But right now, all the big names that have done it for years, George Knapp is the most famous from the 80s when I got into it.
right,
And I think he got
right,
in before I did. I think he came in 83 over to Channel 8 in Las Vegas. But he got with Bob Lear and Bob Lazar.
right.
Janet,
I remember that.
Janet and
No,
I
John
knew.
Lear,
John
John
Lear,
Lear,
excuse me.
and Bob Lazar. And we've had. No, I never got Lazar on my show. I got John Lear came
No.
on one time. Then he died
John Lear,
shortly after
yeah,
that.
we had John
Yeah,
Lear, and we've lost. Now, do
yeah.
you still have a copy of that?
I
That'd
have
be
no idea.
useful.
I put
Well,
back then I was just using YouTube, and sometimes they delete things and I just don't know.
yeah.
You throw your hands up and you go, well, we're doing our part to get the word out. We've been doing it for you and I've been doing this for years.
Yeah, those
We
AI
started
genie
together.
pictures are awesome. AI. I wish we had AI back when we were younger, 30 years ago, but we had it. That was what's so funny. When you start hearing about Gus, the Galaxy Universal Shuttle, I'll be talking and you'll go, well, we didn't have those things back then, but yet we did. And that
We
was what
did.
was so funny is there
We
were
did.
levels of government that you did, but they were underground or they were kept off planet. Or look at the tall whites and how they lived
Yeah.
there. But a guy had to live out there and know they existed and never talk about him coming and watching
Right.
him. But he
Yeah.
did anyway later. I forgot his name. But yeah, we
Um, Charles Hall.
always,
Yeah.
oh,
Charles Hall.
good job, Janet.
Sometimes I can pull them out of this little memory bank, but what was I going to say?
What was his
Yeah, the
first
tech
name? Hall.
Charles Hall. Yeah, he's wonderful.
Charles.
I went to his conference or his speech in Vegas
Wow.
a few years back, but I got so sick, and that's something I wanted to cover. Sometimes we go to
Whatever you
these
want.
events and we come back sick. We're all gathered in one place, and they can just get us with whatever germs they want to get. And many times when I would come back from going to the mainland, and I go to 2 or 3 conferences, and I come back home, I was sick for 2 or 3 months. Like, oh, am I going to die? Am I going to die? So there was something. This was long before COVID. Sasha and I met in '97, and then we started studying with Sitchin in '98, and then we said, well, there's got to be more than Sitchin, so we went to all the San Francisco Bay Area UFO. We kept finding them and going IUFO Congress, but many years I would come back
111.
very sick, and some people eventually died at the con. So this, I don't know, that's kind of dark. I don't want to go there, but
111. It's
uh,
111, Janet. We need to
yeah, we got to
go.
go.
111 is
We
our
have to go.
number.
All right, so
11,
let's say
11,
goodbye.
111.
Any final words you want to tell our listeners? I'm going to say
Yeah,
thank
then
you
we're going
so
to
much
come back
for
next
joining us.
Saturday. And
We'll
Janet and I are going to keep up her Dragon at the End of Time. It's easy to remember. It's .com. But who's going to put in Dragon at the End of Time except Janet Lesson? And then I came up with Hybrid Genies, and Janet said, "That's it." I read her several of my domains I already own. So she said, "That's
I
it. How'd you
liked
come up with
hybrid
that?"
genies, and then I
Yeah,
asked
so
Chad if
we'll
she
do
liked
that.
it. She said, "Well, it rates pretty high." So, anyway,
Okay.
we're coming here as hybrid genies, and why are we hybrid genies, Teresa?
What?
What does it mean? For me, it means that yeah, you and I are
We're
hybrids.
hybrids, and
We got
we've got all
DNA
these
from
magical things
extraterrestrials,
happening.
and we're
We've had all these
magical.
magical experiences that seemed like magic at the time. And as we live longer, it's just another form of quantum physics or
It is. It's quantum
consciousness,
physics and consciousness. Yeah,
awareness.
that's what it is.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're doing this together, folks, and we've had a good time for 12 years. So I guess we'll keep doing. Let's see, what year is this? Oh,
No, it's older.
we'll talk about
It's
awareness and
it's
consciousness and
2026, so we
perception.
started in 2012. So yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go until we stop breathing. We're just gonna keep doing this. So
Yeah.
with that, it's a good time to end. We're gonna work on doing an intro and outro, but right now it's just a long.
We have them
Joining
off of
us.
my old shows, but it's
Yeah,
pretty
but
long.
it's good. We'll do one
We'll
that's
figure
for
it out.
hybrid teams especially.
Yeah,
Okay, well
yeah.
thanks for joining us.
Please don't judge us by our
Oh,
inabilities to do these shows
and
right.
if you judge us, notice yourself judging and what you judge, and that's always about
Be
yourself.
aware of
Judging
being
others,
aware.
judging yourself is always about projection and judging. Because somebody's judging you anyway. Thou shalt not judge,
Oh, we
right?
should each put a book. Let's each mention a book we've written. Uh,
um,
Mine's Knowing Cosmology, but I don't know if you'll get anything out of that. If you like the stories of ETs, I have taken up UFO contact, I think. I have the latest one is Allied Command Odyssey, because we decided the Allied Command, those people above, oh, the one they say, oh, Janet, our Allied Command organization is equal to secret space. But
okay.
but because Corey Good and his IP, intellectual property, and lawsuits over Gaia and David
Anyway,
Wilcott,
we don't
God
want to
bless
go
his
into that
soul.
right now. I'm going to
Well,
end the show now. We will talk later. You've got to plug and plugs. They're all on Amazon.com. So go look up Janet Care Lesson and Teresa J. Morris. Or how are you on Amazon?
J.
Teresa J. Morris.
Morris. Yeah, you can just say
You'll
books
see
by
all
Teresa
these books.
Morris.
If you want to support our work, buy a book, and that helps us keep the lights on
That'd
and
be
all that good
nice.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, gotta
Might
run.
find out some facts too.
Yeah. Aloha. Take
Thank
care.
you,
Bye
Janet, for
bye.
doing this show.
Thank
I'll do it
you for
next
coming.
week. Bye.
See you next week. Bye.
All right.